So if you would please put your palms together for a meditation reading. First day of spring. I keep thinking about the end of autumn. Haiku, First Day of Spring by Basho Matsuo, a Japanese poet. If you would please silently join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. I have spring fever, and I also have the pandemic blues. We don't get to see each other that often, and our isolation has been keeping us away from each other. So I've been kind of blue. I truly have. And for a minister, I should be thinking about all the teachings that I know. But I forget. I truly forget them, and I start feeling sorry for myself. But this morning, I decided that's it. I've had it. So I took my cup of coffee out and sat on my front porch on my little table, and I just sat and had a cup of coffee. I looked at the wisteria that's nearly bloomed out. And in the yard, the cherry blossoms are blooming finally. And it's the sign of spring. I was so happy. I said, okay. Excuse me. I said, I'm able to get out of this slump and truly enjoy the spring day. Cherry blossom is a sign of spring. And spring promises fresh beginnings. It's a respected Japanese tradition to admire the beauty and the sweet scent of spring. Around 748, people in Japan believed that the kami, or gods, signaled a good harvest by the cherry blossoms. They would offer prayers, food, and of course, they feasted themselves. My first trip to Japan, actually it was my first plane trip anywhere, and it happened to be a 13-hour ride to Japan by myself. Whoa, I thought I was a grown-up. Yes, I'm on my own. But to my surprise, my neighbor was on the same plane as I was. So we were able to share. In fact, I don't know how she did this, but she got to sit next to me. But it was a nice ride. She gave me all the tips on how to fly to a 13-hour flight to Japan, the luxuries, how to relax on the plane and all this stuff. Oh, what a great time that was. Then we stopped in Tokyo. I think Tokyo is the Nara airport. Got off, and we took the train to her. She had to transfer to another train, and I went on with my friend. And as we were sitting on the train, she whispers over to me, and she said, "Your mama." "Yes." "She asked me to come with you." I went. I said, "I thought it was a grown-up." She said, "No, your mama was worried about you." I said, "Okay." I said, "But how did you know what flight I was on, what seat I was on, the whole scheduling?" She goes, "Oh, your mama told me." I said, "She made you come on a trip to Japan, even though you weren't coming. She goes, oh, I was going to come later, so I just moved up my schedule to come today with you. I went, oh. I said, okay. She goes, but you had to come home on your own. I said, great. That was fine. So this first trip to Japan, you know, I did the touristy stuff, you know, you visit shrines, and more shrines, and more shrines, and more temples. And then you visit castles. And this was during April. And April, the first week of April, is called Golden Week. I don't know if they still have Golden Week, but Golden Week, where it's blooming. Everything is blooming, specifically cherry blossoms. People would come, would get the day off or the week off, and they would take buses, just loads of buses would come to see the cherry blossoms. So we went to a castle in Tokyo. Beautiful, long walkway, pathway, and it was wide. Lots of people out. Trees lined all the way down. Beautiful cherry blossom. Great day. It was warm. Sky clear blue. And like Japan, all of a sudden it rained. Just came falling down. We ran, we stood under an awning, and within 5 minutes, cherry blossoms were gone. I was devastated. All the other Japanese were just going, They kept saying, oh, how pretty. I was going, but they're gone. They're gone. They went, okay, you know, rain stopped. They went on their way. And I sat there and I was picking up cherry blossoms. They were wet, they were soggy, but I was picking them. He goes, what are you going to do with those? My friend says, what are you going to do with those? I don't know. It's just so sad to see the impermanence of the blossoms. So these blossoms falling from the tree is called Sakura Ame, cherry blossom rain. And it is a sign of impermanence. They blossom once a year, maybe last a week or two at the most, then they fall. They have a short life. And the Japanese accept this state of impermanence, change of all things, constant change. We are born, we live life the best way we know how. We mature, and then we too will be like the cherry blossoms. It is our Namu Amida Butsu that we share in gratitude and thankfulness that we are alive today, that we sit here among each other, and that we can appreciate the fine weather, even though it's cold in here, sorry, the warm weather we have. And we also share our Namu Amida Butsu with those who have departed from our lives. They gave us a life that may not have been ideal, but they gave what they did, and they gave what they could, the best way they knew how. And we put our palms together in thankfulness for what they did show us, what they did share with us. And I named all these people. Well, how many of us know those people? Does anyone know those people I named? Oh, except for Gary, yes, and Sylvia, of course. But it doesn't matter if we know them or not. It truly does not matter. Because they shared in giving some kind of life to these people, who in turn have returned their favors to us. So we don't know these people, but they have done something for us. They've helped us keep the church alive. They've helped us to see and listen to the Dharma in any way they can. Like I said, when I get the blues, I forget everything. I forget the golden chain. I don't protect anyone. I forget about being kind and gentle. I get nasty. I really do. I get nasty. I yell at my cat. I yell at the birds. I yell at everybody. And then I have to think back. That's not how I am. That's not who I am. Or that's who I try not to be. But sometimes, impermanence. We have to look at it that way. It won't last long, but it will for a while. Then I have to kind of slap myself in the face and snap myself out and say, that's not you. You know, many people have sacrificed for us. Many have. They sacrificed their time, their energy, their strength. And I'd like to thank them today for helping us to keep this temple sanitized. For all the people who came out yesterday, who helped to sanitize us so that we can feel safe today. And I offer and share my Namu Amida Butsu with you. Their actions is a proof that they listen to the teachings and they understand, or come to at least get an understanding of what their Nembutsu is. Gratitude, appreciation. Today, at this monthly memorial service, we put our hands together for those people I named, for their sharing of their teachings, their actions, their compassion. And we share our compassion with Namu Amida Butsu in gratitude and appreciation. In certain ways, it is a bittersweet day, for we had to remember the passing of our loved ones. But yet, it can be a happy time, because they showed us a way to be who we are, what we are, and what we may eventually become. So if you would please put your hands together in Gasho. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu.